Hey guys! Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are going to close out January's budget. So I'm going to show you where we spent, where we overspent is more like it, and kind of show you how we're bringing all of our funds into February. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then stay tuned. If this is your first time, hi, my name is Emmy. I am a married person who is 32 years old, and I have a budgeting channel about my family's journey on getting out of debt and how we plan on financing our way to a wonderful life, how we control our spending habits and savings and things like that. So if that's a journey that you'd like to follow along with us, with me, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you. For all my returning subscribers, hello, good to see you. Leave a comment down below so I know you stopped by. Well, hello again, everyone. If you missed out on my last video, I basically went over weeks 1 and 2 of January, and then plus at the end of the video, I kind of gave you guys a bit of a life update and how things have been going. I'm so excited to get back into doing YouTube, so thank you all for sticking around and all of your encouraging words. Even on my last video, you guys were continuing to leave comments, and you guys are just so sweet. So we're going to close out January. By the way, if you like these budgeting sheets, they are available for digital download on my Etsy store. I'll leave it down in the description box if you are interested in. You can download them and print them yourself. I know some people do the digital planner on their iPads. You can download it that way and write in your iPad. Yeah, so go check it out. I have a bunch of different patterns going on down there. All right, so let's get into, let me put this aside, let's get into week 3 of January. I noticed that when I zoom you guys in, I seem to zoom you in too much sometimes, so we're gonna see how this works, and hopefully it's not too bad. By the way, sorry about the funny lighting. The window is right over on this side, and the natural light is kind of coming in at a weird angle. Okay, so week 3 for my family, that is January 15th through the 21st. I always like to start out by listing all of my income that I am expecting for the week. So I listed my rollover from January's week 2. And my husband happened to get paid this week, which is very unusual. He always gets paid on the 25th of every month, unless of course there's a holiday, like so last year, December 25th, he did not get paid on Christmas Day because all the banks are closed and everything. So he got paid much earlier, and I'm wondering if that's why they paid this one earlier too, because they didn't want people to stretch their money too far. But there's no holiday going on, so I have no idea why he was paid so early. But anyway, there it is. And we also got our American Express rewards. We do use an American Express credit card, but we pay it off at the end of every week. So that's why you don't see a debt category of me paying off the American Express credit card, because we use it to spend on all of the expenses over here, and then we just pay it off with the money we have in our checking account. We just like to do it that way because American Express gives us cash back. So here we go. Here's some cash back, $79.59. That's more than what we had the week before. So I am grateful for that. And that leaves us with an income of $7,692.39. So the next category I like to budget for is bills. These are all the things like no matter what, you gotta pay them. So I list them here. Ew, a hair. Okay, so my Apple storage came out, my daughter's daycare, we have to pay $200 every week for her daycare, and then it's a 25-cent fee for auto drafting the payment. Our power bill came out, and then my husband's Apple storage came out. So very easy week on bills, only $263.51. That leaves us with $7,428.88. All right, after that, we have the expenses category, and these are things that like you don't necessarily have to make a minimum payment, but they are things that you need in order to live, like groceries, gas for your car, and I even include my sinking funds in this section. Okay, so when it comes to groceries, I usually try to budget for my family of 4, $200 a week. Some days we do, or some weeks rather, we do great, like this week. We only spent $130.83, and then there are some weeks where we go way overboard. So it kind of fluctuates a bit too much. We really need to start buckling down, because we're spending as if we have this never-ending supply of money, and we do have a specific supply. We need to budget so we're not just frivolously swiping our card all the time. But this particular week we happened to do pretty good. 130.83 on groceries, like I said, 135.14 on eating out. I went over on my allowance. In week 2, I went over because I went and purchased some things. I was going to make a crochet doll for one of my coworkers, and so I bought a whole bunch of supplies for that. For this one, I have no excuse. I ate out a lot this week. It was there's no reason why I went over, but there it is. My husband did such a good job. He was $1 under budget, $74 there. My husband was the only one who had to fill up gas this week, so that was $40.66. And I had to buy, what was that for? This was for the balloon centerpiece that we had for her, and it looks like that it didn't go through on our American Express credit card until after the fact, so that's why it's listed here instead of the week before. Personal care, this is for, I got my hair done, and I bought some things while at the hair salon, so all of that, the products plus the service plus the tip was $111.10. And then for gifts, I don't know what this is. Don't tell my husband, but he should know better because I do the finances, and I saw that he had a charge on the American Express credit card to some jewelry company. And it was $79.95. So I'm thinking he's getting a head start on Valentine's Day. He's always somebody who plans ahead, so it does not surprise me. Like he got all his Christmas shopping done for me like in October of last year. So that could be what this is, but I'm gonna play dumb and pretend that I don't know that. So we shall see. Okay. So in total, we spent $726.52, a little bit over budget, but overall, I'm not mad at it. So that leaves us with $6,702.36. And the last category that I budget for is savings. And so these are any extra funds that I like to put away. We're currently not putting any money towards an emergency fund because our emergency fund is already fully funded. We are trying to build our sinking funds back up. So it's a long story, but basically we had to use all of our savings, all of our sinking funds because several personal events that happened last year. So now we are starting over at zero and we need to put money away into sinking funds. And it was my goal that we put something away at least by the end of January. But as you will see, it did not work out that way. So anyway, I'm thinking about changing my budget to where like sinking funds need to happen. We need to stuff sinking funds. So if I wait till the end of the month, every month, and be like, oh, we just don't have the money, we spent it all on something, and then the sinking funds will never get replenished. So I'm thinking for February, I should probably like budget every week. Like this will go to this sinking fund this week. This will go to this sinking fund this week. I hope that makes sense. Just kind of holding myself a bit more accountable. So anyway, so the only savings that we have going on so far is our Save and Go account. This is an account that was opened for us when we set up our Wells Fargo checking account. Basically, anytime a bill gets paid through that checking account or anytime we swipe our card for whatever reason, they take a percentage of that and move it from your checking account to your savings account. It usually is not much. We pay all of our direct, like, auto pay bills. Those come out of our checking account, and but everything else comes from our American Express credit card. So really the only thing that comes out of our checking account, like number wise, are bills. So because of that, we only have like a couple of dollars every week that gets moved into savings. But I mean, hey, every dollar counts. So I'm totally for it. This week, $4 happened to be moved into our savings account. So that's good, which means that we are rolling over $6,698.36 into week 4. I really need to get a binder to put all this in because right now it's just a bunch of loose leaf paper. Okay, so week 4 is January 22nd through the 28th. So here's our rollover right here. I also happened to get paid earlier than usual. It's very strange. I always get paid the 15th of every month and the last day of every month, unless of course the last day of the month happens to be on a Saturday, but it isn't. The last day of the month was a Tuesday, so I don't understand why I got paid super early as well, but hey ho. I have $55.13 that income that I'm taking from my baking side hustle. So I do bake cakes and cookies and cake pops and all kinds of stuff for birthdays and weddings and baby showers. So I made a baking purchase that was $25.13. Yes. And so I'm replenishing that so I can pay myself back for buying those supplies. And then I also got paid $30 for a baking order. So usually when it comes to my orders, I set 50% aside for all supplies, 25% gets set aside for taxes, and then the other 25% I take as personal income. So for that particular order, I got $30. So it was a pretty good payout for that order. My bank also gives us interest. We don't keep too much in our checking account, so 4 cents, woohoo. And I did take back a whole bunch of things that we were going to use for my daughter's birthday, but we ended up not using it. So after that return, we got $97.25 for that. So that means our income for week 4 was $8,748.87. The bills all came out as expected. We had our water bill. I was wondering what was going on with our water bill. We recently moved to a new home back in like August-ish, something like that. In our new home, the water bill wasn't coming out every month, and I'm not used to that, but apparently the water bill is paid like every quarter. So this is like 3 months worth, because I haven't seen a water bill in a while. So I was like, well, that's a big water bill, but it's 3 months worth, so it's not too bad. Another week of my daughter's daycare. Oh, student loans. That's disgusting how much we pay towards student loans, but there it is. I mentioned this in my last video, I think. I don't remember if I edited it out or anything, but my husband applied to get his student loans forgiven, being a teacher in a high needs area. So hopefully this number will go down, but that's just painful to look at. So our total bills for week 4 is $1,342.70. So if I subtract that from our income, we are left with $7,406.17. Moving on. Expenses. So with our expenses, we went crazy. Yep, we did. I don't know. There was no reason except we forgot that we're poor. Like, I don't know what happened, but I knew that we probably would be eating out a little bit more this week just because we did so well in week 3. And that's usually how it happens. If we only eat out a little bit one week, then the next week we're just eating out a lot. So I kind of took away from groceries and moved it to eating out, but it didn't even matter. Like, we spent way over budget. Groceries, $351.67. Eating out was $207.89. My allowance, I went over. It was $117.99. Again, that's all me eating out. My husband, however, was under budget, $68.31. We had to fill up twice this week, and then also we had to pay a toll ticket. My husband, he travels a lot with, he's a high school band director, and he's doing a bunch of clinics and such, and apparently he went past like a state that had a carpool lane, and he accidentally drove in the carpool lane, and they sent us a ticket and we had to pay it. It was only like $10, but still. If we didn't have that ticket, we would be under budget, but there it is, $106.07. $30.77 was to buy a couple of sweaters for my son. $3.92 was my husband's prescription. $135.89 out of family fun. To be quite honest, this was not fun at all. This particular week, our gas stopped working. And so it's been really cold. This is the end of January when this took place, and our gas stopped working, and our gas heats everything in our home, our hot water, our fireplace, and our heat. So we tried to stick it out, and on the first night while we were waiting, we're waiting on people to come fix it. The first night, everyone slept in 3 layers of clothing and hoodies, and all the blankets came out of the closets to just wrap us all up in, and we did what we could. And then when the repairman said he wasn't going to come the next day, I was like, honey, I can't do it. I can't. It was miserable. I know my kids were miserable. So this was not a family fun. It was one night stay at a hotel literally 10 minutes down the road. But I paid that so my children could sleep in the warmth, and I paid that so we could all take a warm shower, because we skipped a day of bathing because we did not want to take a freezing cold shower, and everybody just kind of wiped down with baby wipes that day, and I can't be doing that 2 days in a row. Call me high maintenance, but we had to do what we had to do until the repairman came. So $135.89. Reimbursement. My husband bought something for his band. He will be reimbursed for that. If not this week, then next week, but that was $56.54. Again, I told you I spent $25.13 for baking, but then I just put it right back, paid myself back. So that's why it's listed in the income. And then for school, $105.15. My son has a field trip coming up, and so we had to pay the field trip fee, and then we also had to buy a couple of things for soccer. In my last video, I told you we signed him up for soccer, and I'm really excited because, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be excited, but he's never shown an interest in any activity that was outside. My son is very calm and quiet, and he sits and reads his books and watches TV, plays his video games, practices piano. He is not the go outside and play type of kid. And so when he expressed an interest in soccer, we're like, yes. So we signed him up for soccer, and we bought him a practice soccer ball. It's kind of cool. It's like a mini soccer ball. It's about this big, and it's attached to, could you even see my hands? No. But it was a small soccer ball attached to a string, and you hold on to the string and then you kick it so you can practice dribbling, and then the ball doesn't roll away. It's in your hand. It comes right back. So anyway, we bought that. So total expenses was way over budget, $1,209.33. Subtracting that from what we had left over, we have $6,196.84. Last category was savings, and we had $3 move into our Save and Go account. I was expecting to move at least $200 into sinking funds, but we just couldn't. I know it's crazy because down here at the bottom it says we are rolling over $6,193.84. So it seems like a lot of money, but it's actually not because usually at the end of the month, I close out my budget before my husband and I get paid, because I like to budget from the 25th to the 25th of every month. So the fact that my husband and I both got paid already, this should not be here. What my husband normally gets paid, let's do some math here. 494677, and then my paycheck is 189809. So if we were to have it zeroed out at the end of January, then the first week of February we should have $6,844.86, which means that should be, if we both got paid already, that should be what we have rolling over, but we don't. We have $700 less than if we were to actually get paid. Does that make sense? We are rolling over a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, we're starting out a month much less than we normally start out. Yeah. So because of that, I did not feel comfortable moving anything into sinking funds just yet. It is February, which is a busy time for my baking business, so I'm hoping that I can do some side hustling to help kind of cushion up some income. Also, right now I'm in a hotel because my husband is doing a band clinic. He is teaching the best middle schoolers in some county in some state. I don't want to disclose my information, but we did drive about 5 hours to get here, and it's by the beach. And even though it's by the beach, it's still pretty cold, but he's over there teaching at that high school. He's teaching at a high school, but it's a whole bunch of middle school kids, and they're the best middle school kids in that county. And so they're well-behaved students. They perform well, and he's, you know, kind of giving a little clinic on how to become better musicians, and they're practicing some pieces, and they have a concert tomorrow. So anyway, all of that, usually he does these things by himself, but I decided to tag along because I kind of wanted a mini break, a little vacation. So my husband is teaching, and I am here kind of hanging out, having some me time, alone time. My kids are with their grandparents, so there's no kids, just me and my husband. And he finishes teaching today in just a couple hours, and then we're gonna go walk around the beach and see if we can find a nice place to eat. Should we be spending money? Absolutely not, but are we gonna? Yeah, we are. I'm not a really good role model at this point. Do not follow any of my financial advice from this video. I just, you know, sometimes you gotta splurge on yourself. Sometimes you gotta splurge on your partner, and I'm really excited that I came along, and my husband's having a good time. He's going to get a hefty paycheck for this clinic as well, so that'll help cushion some of our overspends, but I'm excited. So we're going to leave for the beach in just a little while. So that's it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe so I know you want to see more videos like this. And I will talk with you soon with my February budget. Yeah. So have a good day, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.